Welcome everybody. I am Brian O'Rear and I'm leading the class for this 8-week strategy session. Strategy is nothing new, as you know. Just think about the Old Testament. Noah, tremendous strategic planning. Of course, he relied on the Lord, as should we, as we do our strategic planning. If you think about how complex it must have been for him to build the ark, all sorts of workers, outside of his immediate family, supply chain, food, logistics, all sorts of issues that they had to deal with. And strategic planning is a theme that continues throughout the Old Testament and the New Testament as well. So it's nothing new, it's nothing that you're unfamiliar with. But in business, there are techniques and things that we know for our modern business system that we can apply to help understand how companies thrive or should plan to thrive in their environments. We'll apply a lot of those biblical principles because they're principles that last and succeed no matter what the age that we're in. We will do that during this time that is a little bit condensed. Like I said, it's an 8-week course, so it's very important that you stay up with the readings, with your assignments, etc. If you need anything, you don't understand anything, don't wait and hope that it's going to get better. It probably won't. Contact me first, and I'll see if I can help figure things out with you. I know a lot of you are being pulled in many directions, especially as it's summer, with family and jobs and maybe business and church and school and all your other obligations. So I get it that it's a busy time. Here's a great thought. Apply your strategic planning principles to strategically plan your time for the course. This is a capstone course, so you'll be using a lot of the tools and techniques and information knowledge that you've learned in some of your other classes. It's for that reason, it's really a lot of fun because we're going to look at businesses, existing businesses, what they should have done, what they could have done, what they did. We'll see what succeeded, what didn't. Maybe some things that they missed, some signs that they may have missed. We'll put a lot of things together to do our analysis. Give you just a real quick teaser taste for what we'll be exploring. Everybody's seeing a mission statement or a vision statement, right, for a business, a company, an organization. In fact, Boyce College has a mission statement, doesn't it? Very simple. By the way, I think the simple ones are probably the best because you can remember them, you understand them. If you don't know Boyce's mission statement, well, don't tell me. Just look it up because you should know by now. But maybe we'll go through that in class. You can see it on the syllabus, by the way, as well as probably 100 other documents that we have. So we'll look at mission statements. Sometimes they're effective, sometimes they're not. What kind of a vision? We know about casting a vision, how important that is. What makes sense? How does a vision statement or a mission statement, how are they different? How do they help in strategic planning for the organization? We will assess both the internal and external environments of a company, of an organization in which it operates, and identify some of the important things that an organization should consider as they do their strategic planning and their strategic execution. By the end of the course, you'll be able to say that word too. We'll also look at some things called strategic diversification. Now, we're in the midst of this COVID pandemic, right? And a lot of businesses that were not diversified in their execution, perhaps in their logistics, their supply chain, maybe not in their market space. Diversification is extremely important, as a lot of those companies are finding out. They probably knew it. Most people know that diversification is important, but strategic diversification is not an easy thing. So we'll take a look at some of that, try to figure out how to identify the things that are important to diversify in. Those are just some examples. It's a ton of really good stuff, about 2 months worth. You remember stories, right? We all remember stories. That's probably mostly what we remember from our Sunday, from the sermons that our pastors tell us, is the story that goes along with the scripture teaching. They do that because we remember those things. We are going to look at case studies for that very reason. We'll study case studies. We'll look to see what the story is that underlies that situation, that company, that organization, and then we'll perform some analysis. Actually, we'll perform a lot of analysis to see how things could have gone better, should have gone better, and see how we might have approached things a little bit differently. Anyway, it's going to be a great course. Hop on over to week 1. Make sure you do your introduction. It's a very small course, just have a handful of people. So you should have an opportunity to get to know everybody just a little bit. So look forward to seeing you on the boards and in person later on. Bye.